Welcome to the world of true crime, where we dive into the darkest corners of human nature and uncover the shocking truth that lurks behind closed doors. Prepare yourself for a riveting journey as we peel back the layers of mystery, unveiling the sinister motives and twisted minds that haunt our nightmares. Pursuit of justice takes us deep into the heart of darkness, where the line between good and evil becomes blurred. Join us as we shine a light on the unsolved mysteries, cold cases, and high-profile investigations that have left communities in disbelief. But beware, for with every revelation comes a chilling realization that the world we live in is not always what it seems. Brace yourself for the harrowing tales, shocking twists, and unexpected turns that await you in the realm of true crime. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the case of Jared Bridegan, a Microsoft executive callously gunned down in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, on February 16, 2022. Now, before we dive deep into the case, including what happened to Jared and who was responsible for his cold-blooded murder, it's important to know a bit more about who he was as a person. Jared Bridegan was a 33-year-old software engineer and father of 4 children, twins from a previous marriage to Shanna Gardner, and 2 children from his current marriage to Kristen Bridegan. Jared's first marriage ended due to Shanna's affair with her personal trainer, a man named Mario Fernandez Saldana. Unfortunately, the relationship between Jared and Shanna was strained, with the two involved in a complex custody battle over their twins. Despite the custody battle, Jared made it a priority to spend as much time with each of his children, which is precisely what he was doing hours before his death. February 16, 2022 seemed like an ordinary day for Jared, his wife Kristen, and their children. After spending time with the children, he headed out on the road with his 2-year-old daughter and his 9-year-old twin son and daughter to his ex-wife's home in Jacksonville Beach, where he planned to drop them off to their mother. Once he dropped the children off to their mother, he headed back to St. Augustine, where he lived with his current wife and children. It was during this trip home that he came across a large tire in the middle of the road, directly by the exit of the sanctuary neighborhood. He decided to pull off to the side to move the tire out of the road. Anyone who knew Jared knows that he was a considerate person, so this wasn't out of the ordinary for him. Sure, he could have driven off to the side of the road to avoid the tire, but instead, he decided to do the right thing and move it to prevent an accident from happening. Sadly, this would lead to a series of incredibly unfortunate events for Jared. After stepping out of the vehicle and standing near the tire, he was shot multiple times. His vehicle's hazard lights were on and still blinking, with his daughter sitting in her car seat unharmed and alone as Jared lay dying on the road. Now, when police arrived on the scene, they were stumped. Jared was shot, but nothing was stolen, and his vehicle was just sitting there untouched, so it clearly wasn't a carjacking situation. It left them wondering, who could possibly want this loving family man dead? Why would someone do this to a man who was driving with his toddler after dropping his children off to their mother? Not surprisingly, Jared's wife, Kristen, became suspicious of the situation. She'd previously spoken to Jared when he was completing the drop-off at his ex's house, and everything seemed fine. He didn't say he was in danger, nor did it sound like anything was out of the ordinary. It led her to believe that there was a real possibility that Shanna, someone he had a tumultuous relationship with in the past, could have very well been involved in the murder of Jared. Regarding the ending of Jared and Shanna's relationship, the divorce filings and custody documents dated back to 2015 and were more than 800 pages long. The court documents detail many of the disagreements between the two, including where to send their children to school and when each parent would have overnight visits. Things were anything but civil between the two, despite Jared's best efforts to put the needs of the children above everything else, so it would only make sense as to why Kristen would be concerned that Shanna would have something to do with her husband's murder. In the aftermath of Jared's death, Shanna appeared to be unwilling to bury the hatchet, refusing to allow twins Abby and Liam to attend their father's funeral. Instead of saying a final farewell to their father and reuniting with their half-siblings, Shanna moved to West Richland, Washington. While dealing with the death of her husband and being isolated from her stepchildren, Kristen continuously attempted to raise awareness of Jared's case, which appeared to be turning cold, with no solid leads over the next few months. However, detectives were working feverishly behind the scenes to determine who would want to take this family man's life, stripping his children of a dedicated father. Although it would take some time, nearly a year to be precise, police announced an arrest in the murder of Jared Bridegan. Henry Tennon, 61, was charged with conspiracy to commit murder, second-degree murder with a weapon, accessory after the fact to a capital felony, and felony child abuse, all relating to the murder of Jared. But what could drive this 61-year-old man to ambush Jared? What was the relationship between the two? As far as Kristen Bridegan knew, Jared was loved by many with no real enemies, other than his ex-wife. Security footage initially captured an image of a blue Ford F-150 made between 2004 and 2008, leaving the area around the time of the shooting. Law enforcement asked the public for assistance in identifying and locating the vehicle, which eventually led them to Henry Tennon. Mr. Tennon was arrested on August 18th for possessing a weapon as a felon and driving with a suspended license, unrelated to the second-degree murder charges. He has prior convictions for burglary, misdemeanor battery, and a few traffic offenses. It was then that he was questioned and would eventually admit to being the one who ambushed Jared while on the road. Police wouldn't comment on the connection between Henry and Jared at the time, but wanted to make it clear that they knew he didn't act alone. So who was in on this plot to murder Jared, and for what reason? As investigators dived deeper into the case, they stumbled upon a connection that would blow the case wide open. Mr. Tennon was renting a home in Jacksonville owned by Mario Fernandez, Shanna's former boyfriend and now husband during the time of the murder. It wouldn't take long for law enforcement to connect the dots, linking Shanna's husband to the murder, with the belief that Henry was hired as a hitman to end Jared's life to get him out of the picture. They now believe Shanna wanted to move across the country and didn't want to have to ask for permission or continue dealing with her co-parenting responsibilities, resulting in her and her husband conspiring to end Jared's life for good. On August 17, 2023, nearly 18 months after Jared's untimely passing, Shanna Gardner Fernandez was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit murder, with prosecutors interested in seeking the death penalty for the case. Body cam footage shows the day of the arrest, with Shanna acting relatively nonchalant as her mother cries in a chair, and her children, the two she shared with Jared, can be heard in the background.
I'm here, Shanna. I'm outside.
Oh, they're gonna call you.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Because I
You want me to go get her shoes?
I'll get your shoes on.
Is that okay?
It's okay with them. You guys go back in?
You go hard going to kids.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. You want me to go get her pants?
Abby?
It's gonna be the white vehicle back there. We'll go to the
Love you, honey.
passenger side. Yep. Out of the one car, right? Now step out for me. We're gonna go through these doors over here. And then there's gonna be a hallway to your left there. Have you take a left there for me. And we'll go down to this last door here on the left. Have you stand there for me. And I'll have you take a seat over here. And what I'll do, actually, if you want to face the wall for me, Which one's tight?
They're both tight. The right one's more than
The right one's more tight? Okay.
but it's okay with it. Sorry.
Are those cuffs putting any strain on your shoulders or anything?
Alright, but it's okay.
Well, I'll get you down to jail as soon as possible, and then we'll get you out of these cuffs.
How far away is the jail?
Probably about 10-15 minutes.
Interestingly enough, Shanna's mother, Shelly Gardner, a wealthy business owner and leader within the Mormon community, applied for conservatorship over the twins in May, which may indicate that Shanna quickly realized the gig was up and she would soon be discovered to be a cold-blooded killer. Even if Shanna didn't shoot Jared herself, which we now know was done by Harry, police believe she was heavily involved in this murder-for-hire plot, which will continue to unfold over the next few months. In the meantime, Kristen Bridegan is left coping with the loss of her devoted husband while having no access to her stepchildren. Since news of Shanna's arrest made headlines, Kristen pleaded with Shanna's family to allow the children to see their siblings and to be a family once again. However, Kristen, along with Jared's parents and family members, continued to be isolated from them, making this heartbreaking situation even worse. So, what are your thoughts on this case? We know that the court of law states that an individual is deemed innocent until proven guilty. But what do you think? Is Shanna responsible for the cold-blooded killing of Jared? Will she be convicted of murder in the coming months or years? Most importantly, will Kristen get the opportunity to be reconnected with her stepchildren, whom she loves like they were her own? Only time will tell. Be sure to stay tuned for ongoing updates on this case. To stay up to date on this and other cases, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Thank you all for joining us on this gripping journey through the darkest corners of the human psyche. If you enjoyed this video and want to uncover more spine-chilling tales, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You won't want to miss a single episode. Remember, truth is often stranger than fiction, and our mission is to bring you the untold stories that lurk in the shadows. So, make sure you're subscribed to our channel to stay up to date with our latest investigations, in-depth analysis, and shocking revelations. Furthermore, if you have a thirst for more mysteries and unsolved cases, we've curated a playlist of our most compelling episodes just for you. Click on the screen to dive deeper into the dark abyss of human nature and explore the enigmas that continue to perplex us. Lastly, we want to express our deepest gratitude to our incredible community of true crime enthusiasts. Your passion, engagement, and comments fuel our determination to bring you the most compelling content. Together, we stand as seekers of truth in the face of darkness. As we conclude this chapter, remember to stay curious, stay vigilant, and stay safe.